Yeah, there is. I mean, these fun things though are important too. You know,
Oh,
you gotta have these life
definitely, definitely.
experiences and enjoy being on the mountain, especially with your wife. That's cool that she goes with you and enjoys hunting. My wife's the same way. You know, in fact, she's the only one. I guess that's what I do have is her. She's got the I always call it the early rifle season for deer. You know, the here in Utah we have that early
Yeah,
season,
yeah.
so she has that tag for here at the Pavant. So I guess we do have that coming up, but that's cool that your wife does that and gets out with you because that's those are core memories, man.
Oh, 100%. It's been a blast. And she wasn't a hunter before we got married, so like it's been something
Oh,
she's been getting into. So
so she knows who to blame for all the hunting obsessions. It's
yeah,
nobody
yeah,
else but you.
definitely. Definitely. And it's been a good process for me to learn to like teach somebody else about it
Yeah,
too, because it makes me realize how many things that just like naturally come to me now because I've been hunting essentially all my life going with my dad
yeah.
that like I'm like, oh shoot, that is not a, a common sense thing.
Dude, when I started, well, when I started Ehuntr and starting to kind of get involved in this, one of the big things I was pushing is like introducing new people into hunting. Kind of use that as a little bit of my marketing tactic to grow Ehuntr. And so I took a bunch of people that had never hunted, took them out and kind of introduced them to it. Same thing, man. I'm like, holy cow, like there's a lot of stuff that's just like it's just second nature to you and I. You know, it's just what we do because our dad taught us and we've been around
Yeah.
it our whole life. And there's stuff that they just don't get. And like the biggest thing to me was like understanding the behavior of animals. Like they don't understand that at all. Like what a deer is going to do in a drainage or, you know, or an elk with a different, you know, different groups of trees or
Yeah.
whatnot. Like, and it's just what I do. So it's crazy to look at it in different perspective.
100%, 100%. I actually, if we want to tell, I don't know what we want to talk about on the podcast. I'm happy to talk about whatever, but like this buck actually was her either first or second year hunting. I shot that deer.
Oh, really?
And um
And she's like, oh,
I
wow, it's so easy. We shoot big deer. It's no big deal. Braden shoots big
no,
deer all the
no,
time.
no. I'm pretty sure it was her second year, and her first year we didn't see a deer.
Oh,
So
all right. All right.
like
You broke her in the right way.
we definitely had those expectations that it's not super easy all
Yeah.
the time. She I told her, I was like, you have first shot. Like
Yeah.
I will give you first dibs. I will stand next to you. And the day before I shot this deer, we had a really nice buck run out and stop at like 100 yards, 150 yards from us. And it was quartering to us just barely. And I mean, seriously stops and looks at us. And I'm like, shoot,
Yeah.
shoot,
Yeah.
shoot. Like, pull the trigger because I'm ready to pull my trigger to drop this deer that's standing in front of us. And she didn't shoot because she thought it had to be perfectly broadside.
Oh,
And like,
no. Oh,
it was
no.
killing me because that was a deer that I would have been happy to
Yeah.
harvest.
Yeah.
And like, anyway, so it ended up running off, and the next day we went back up, and my brother essentially texted me before, because we usually push through this little area. We've since started hunting it a little bit different, and it's been a lot better for her
Yeah.
because the animals aren't moving. But my brother texted me as they were about to drop down and push through, and he's like, hey, there's a buck in here. If you get an opportunity and she isn't shooting, you need to shoot it. And I'm like, okay, after yesterday, like
Yeah.
I like, if this buck is big enough that he's telling me I needed to shoot it, then I should probably shoot it. And actually, it ended up being that deer, but we thought it was like a smaller 4 point. We thought it was like an okay 4 point,
Yeah.
but nothing
Yeah.
crazy. And when we walked up on it and we saw that,
I'll say
I'll
bring
grab
that
it
thing closer.
just so you can see.
Yeah, I want to
When
see.
we walked
Oh.
up and we saw it laying down with the double kickers coming off the side,
Oh
we're
my
like,
gosh.
oh my gosh.
Wow, dude! So when you had it back there on the wall, I couldn't see those. I couldn't see any of the kickers on it. I thought it was just a really solid 3x4.
No,
Holy
it's got two
smoke!
kickers coming off of this side and one little one coming off of this side.
Dude, that is, yeah, no offense to to your wife or my wife, but if that buck came out and we were both shooting, I'm not waiting.
Right?
Oh, that's awesome. Holy cow.
I didn't know it was this big when I hit it, but like,
Oh,
yeah. Anyway,
I I
it
love that
grew a
though.
lot when we walked up on it, which usually doesn't happen. And
I love it when it does though, dude. In fact, I got a deer over here that I shot in Colorado a few years ago, and we were driving down this. In fact, I was driving with a load of guys, and I saw this deer, and I could tell it was a buck, but I didn't think anything of it. You know, I'm like, oh, there's a decent buck, but I'm the one driving, so like I'm gonna be the last one to get a shot on it. These guys are all gonna hop out and shoot it before I even think about it, and so. But they didn't. They all kind of just like hum-hawed around. Well, I jumped out, grabbed my gun, and rest on the bed of the pickup, and I shot it, and it kind of led it a little bit. It was probably the best shot I've ever made on a deer. He was 660 yards finally when I actually got to shoot and just piled him. Anyways, had no idea what I had shot. I was like, it's just like, yeah, I thought it was like, okay, it's a good probably 3 or 4 point, nothing that amazing. And then I walk up, same thing. He's laying in the snow, and I'm like, in fact, I walked up by myself for the first time. I was like, yes! I was so excited. I mean, and he's not your bug right there. That's a sweet bug. But he's about a 160. I think we measured him at 168. But I just wasn't expecting that, you know. So you're right. When you walk up on something you don't expect, it's like, oh, so awesome.
yeah. That was actually both of these deer.
Really?
Me. Yeah, last year it had been a couple years since I'd killed something, and so I was like, I'm gonna shoot the first deer I see that's decent. And anyway, I missed the day before, and kind of was like, whatever, maybe we'll find something else. And we literally stepped over a ridge, and he jumped up and ends up going up over the ridge, and I'm like, we're never gonna see him again. And my wife had to go. We dropped our bags as we were trying to run and catch him before he went over the ridge. My wife's a type 1 diabetic, and so her blood sugar was going low, so she's like, I got to go back to my bag and get food. And like, if I were her, I probably would have been carrying my bag because it just had like a jacket and food in it. Yeah. But all my bag had in it was my spotting scope. So I'm just like dying with the weight of my spotting scope. And I'm like, I don't need to carry this if I'm chasing after a deer. And so I dropped mine and she dropped hers, but she went back to get it. And I was like, okay, if she's back that way, I'm going to go way further down than I was planning on.
Yeah.
We ended up just on this little road, and a deer jumped up, and I shot it, and like I had no idea. And then 2 more bucks jumped up, and I was like, I hope I shot the big one. I don't really know. And they ran off, and I was like, I never saw the deer I shot, and I know I hit it because it was a loud
thump. Yeah.
So I'm like, I guess I'll go see what I shot. And I walked up, and that guy was on the ground, and I was very happy.
Yeah. It doesn't normally, for those listening, it doesn't normally work that way. Normally it's the opposite. You shoot something and you're like, oh, it might be an okay buck, and you walk up and it's just like this little dinky thing. Like, oh man, dang it.
No, it usually doesn't. I could tell it had decent antlers. Like I could tell it wasn't a little tiny 2-point, but
that's awesome. I've had not a lot of those, but I've had a lot of situations where it just jumps up and I shoot. In fact, this bull right here was one from Colorado, just an over the counter unit. Any kind of branch antler bull you're kind of going after, and there was a whole herd of cows, and I saw one bull just pushing all the cows, and they were 80 yards from me, running through the trees. He stopped for just a second, boom. No idea what I shot, and he's a 300-inch bull, and I mean that's over the counter in Colorado. That's pretty good, nothing amazing. It's not a 400-inch bull, but still, those kind of situations have happened to me probably more often than I care to think about, honestly.
Hey, they do happen, and that's part of just like getting out and trying, and that's what I keep telling myself with this archery tag. So I've been hunting one deer specifically, for the last month and a half. And there are lots of other bucks. There's probably 6 deer on a regular year that I would shoot.
Yeah.
And there is one deer that I'm like, I really want to get that one.
Oh
And so
man.
I keep going up, and I'll text you a picture
I was
after
just
we
gonna
get
say,
off.
send me a picture when we're done.
But anyway, like some days I'm just like, I'm not gonna see him. I'm not gonna like.
Yeah.
There's no point in even going up. But I'm not gonna kill him sitting on the couch here at home. Up
Right.
there, I at least have a chance.
Right, exactly. That's exactly it. He's a stud though, huh? He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's just like he's probably the cleanest typical 4 point
Oh,
that I
see,
have ever seen.
dude,
Like,
I love just a big typical 4 point because last year so I had an archery tag down here last year, and same thing. I found this big, beautiful, just typical 4 point. I chased him all year long, never got him, and never filled my tag because he was who I was going for, and.
yep.
But I kind of like that though. It's kind of fun when you like target, like you find a deer during scouting season, you target that deer, and that's like he's your one and only. Like that's so fun,
It's been a blast so far. We'll see what comes of it. The other thing is, as I mentioned, I have the dedicated tag, and this is
Yeah.
year one for me. So like,
Oh.
if I don't tag out on him, then I don't really have to worry about it the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if I failed to tag this year and next year, I'd be like, well, shoot, I
Oh
guess I
crap.
don't get to chase deer.
No, yeah. I've had the dedicated tag a couple times. You have to be very strategic, making sure you save that second deer for like the last rifle season of your third year, so you get to hunt all hunts up until that point.
Exactly. But, yeah, I'll send you a picture. He's
Okay.
just a super clean, typical. I haven't even really been able to get close to him. One of the
Yeah.
biggest issues is there's just a lot of other deer in
Yeah.
the area, and so like I'll bust one of them and it'll go run right through his bed, and I'll
Ugh.
just never get close. Like I'll be 150 yards from him. I'll bust the 2 point, and it'll run straight to him and get him up, and I'll just watch him run away. The closest I got was 77 one night. That's a little bit out of my range that I felt comfortable with, and it was the hardest decision to set the bow down and just watch him.
Yeah. An elk all day long. 77 yards, I'm sending it on an elk, but man, on a deer, 77, that's a poke, man. That's a long shot.
Yeah. So we let him go. The other thing I figured is if I didn't spook him, he'd still be in there.
Yeah.
And I've seen him after that. He's still in there. He's kind of shifting to be a little more nocturnal, unfortunately. Like I'm seeing him less and less and less during the day. But
the crappy thing here too is you don't have any cameras on him, so you can't keep looking at him on cameras and things like that. So, but the advantage you do have, at least I feel like deer during the archery hunt, they're all bachelored up. They're always with a bunch of other bucks. I feel like during the muzzle loaders, when they kind of will start to separate themselves a little bit, and then obviously for the rifle hunts, they start working into the does. But so that muzzleloader hunt, you might be able to snag him who knows? You may get him on before the archery's done this Friday, but that
we'll see. I as I mentioned, I've been seeing him less and less. So at the beginning of the season, it was like every night I was seeing this buck, and like I have tons of videos of him. And we've gone up the last 4 times. I've seen him once, and it was like 15 minutes before it was too dark to even shoot. And so
dang. Is he still in velvet, or has he rubbed it off?
Last time I saw him, he was still in velvet.
Okay.
That being said, all the other deer in the area are rubbed off. He may be by now.
Yeah. It seems like that very last week of the archery hunt, at least last year it was this way as well. Like they all started rubbing off that last week, and by the last week they were all pretty much hard horned after that. So man, I'd love to see him in the velvet though. You have to send me some pictures.
I will. I definitely will. He's a pretty buck. Especially, I got really lucky. The one night I got to 77, one of my buddies came with me, and he brought his camera. And so, like, even though I didn't get to like take a shot, we have some amazing photos of this deer just standing above the pond.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting older or whatnot, but there's a lot of times I'm like, I just want to take the pictures. of them, you know, like shooting them, harvesting them is great, but oh man, to have the pictures of them is so dang cool. It's almost just maybe not just as rewarding, but it's pretty rewarding to have some good pictures of a big animal like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, shoot, man. Well, okay. So I wanted to chat with you a little bit. I know we got a chance to meet at TAC and whatnot, but, dude, been a huge fan of Dark Energy for a long time. In fact, you can't see it, but my computer's plugged in with a Dark Energy USB cord right now. I mean, I love you. I love Dark Energy stuff. I love the Poseidon Pro. I've been using it for a long time. Got the solar panel last year. Was actually really hoping to use it a lot this week while I was in Alaska, but been super impressed. So what I'd love to do here today for my listeners is kind of just talk through Dark Energy. I'm pretty sure most everybody knows about Dark Energy, but for those that don't, I mean, I do have a lot of people that listen to this podcast that are new to hunting and may not even know all the details of what you guys have, what you do, what makes you stand out from everybody else. Would love to, for my own personal, whatnot. I love to know like what you guys are working on. What's I saw the new Nanos came out, just barely with the new colors. Would love to talk through that, but let's go back to the basics, Braden. Just I guess maybe start out telling us about who you are, what you do at Dark Energy, and then give us kind of a rundown of Dark Energy as a company.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Braden Staples. I born and raised here in Utah. So like this is where I usually hunt. In fact, I hardly ever hunt out of state. Like just love Utah, grew up in the mountains of Utah, and I mean, fell in love with hunting there. And that's actually part of the reason I ended up getting my job at Dark Energy. So I was in college studying marketing, and they came to a career fair at the university I was at. I went to they were looking for somebody to help run their marketing, and I was looking for a job. And so it kind of worked out perfect. And I really wanted to be in the hunting industry. Was kind of where was what I wanted to do, because that's where my interests lie. I didn't want to go like I'd done internships at a vitamin company, for example, a supplement company, and it was a great learning experience. Yeah. But by the end of the summer internship, I was like, all right, I'm over vitamins. And so I wanted to make sure that whatever I was doing, I was actually interested in whatever industry that those products lied in. And so when I heard about Dark Energy the first time, was actually at this career fair. I hadn't heard of them before, so I did a little more research on them. Wow. And I started to learn what they do, and they make reliable portable power, essentially. Tough portable power. Our tagline is the toughest portable power on earth. And like that ultimately is what we try and do. We try and make power products that you can take anywhere with you, and you will be able to charge whatever devices you may need with those power products. Yeah. And so I came on, have been running their marketing. We've been launching some new products, as you mentioned. A lot of those have come since I've been hired. I've been working for Dark Energy for probably almost 4 years now. Oh, wow. And it's been a blast. Like I have loved every minute of it. My favorite part is the people that I get to connect with and the stories I get to hear, which are, I mean, just huge. Yeah. For me. So that's kind of like my background, how I got into Dark Energy. Dark Energy itself, again, makes tough portable power. Most of our power solutions at this point are for small electronic devices. Mm-hmm. So like cell phones, recharging headlamps, Garmin inReaches, just devices that can be extremely important when you're on the hill, even though you may not realize it. And fortunately for us, there's beginning to be a bigger market for it. Most headlamps are becoming rechargeable. Some of the water purification systems are rechargeable. Everybody's beginning to use Onyx. Mm-hmm. If you're not already, like, better start. Using some type of mapping software is huge. Yeah. And to be completely honest, I don't know if I could use a paper map. I don't carry a paper map with me. I couldn't. Most of the places I go. And so having my phone with those maps helps a ton. A lot of people are getting more into digiscoping as well. So like snapping their phone on their optic or whatever and getting videos.
Yeah.
And having a charge during those times is important. I actually have I'll tell a funny story about that because I think it makes it more entertaining. But last year I didn't have the dedicated tag, so I was going with my brother to hunt his. And he ended up sneaking in on some bucks, and I was up on the hill videoing him or trying to video him. And my battery was dying, and I had chargers back in the side by side, but I didn't have them with me.
Oh no.
And so I'm freaking out trying to get my phone, and video takes a lot more battery than
it does.
Realize. And so I'm sitting there videoing him and like videoing the deer that whole evening. By the time he got to where he needed to be to shoot at this deer, my phone died.
Oh no.
And so I missed him. He didn't end up getting the deer, but I missed him shooting at the deer because my phone was dead on the video. And so one practice I've implemented since then is on my way up, because I've usually been working all day. On my way up, I charge my phone to wherever I'm going just to make sure I have enough battery to get me through the evening and get the photos and videos that I may need.
Let's say the dark energy guy should have a dark energy Poseidon Pro with him to charge his phone, right?
Once again, I had one. It was 30 yards behind me in the side-by-side. But
that is the worst, man. And you're right though. Like if you think about it, like as you were just talking there for a second, I was thinking like in my pack, how many things I recharge every time I go hunting, and my phone, number one, because my apps or my maps are on there, but yeah, my headlamp, my flashlight, even my lighter is it's one of those, oh crap, what are they called? Plasma lighter. Plasma, right?
It makes sense. They're cool. If you don't have one of ours, you should totally check ours out because they're also a flashlight.
Which I don't have. I do need to get one of your guys's because that would be kind of nice to be able to have it do both. But yeah, like everything, like not everything, but so many things that we use now they require power, and I'd love to kind of pick your brain a little bit because. And maybe you can tell me the why behind this. Like, so I've ordered power banks off of Amazon in the past, and I've taken them. So this elk right here, just a quick little story on this elk. So on this elk, I bought this battery pack off of Amazon. It was like a 25,000 milliamp battery, but pretty good size battery pack. Man, I couldn't even get one phone charge on that battery pack, and it's so weird that it says it's 25,000 milliamps, but I still couldn't get a phone charge on it. The other thing I noticed with that battery pack is this hunt was, it was in October, would have been probably the second week of October. And it was cold. And so, just like hunting and whatnot, like during the day, like it would just drain that battery pack. So I'd love to get your thoughts on it. Like why is it that normal battery packs, even though they're 25,000 milliamps, can only charge my phone halfway, and why do they lose power when it's cold?
Yeah, those are great questions. And there's kind of a couple of reasons for it, or that may be the reason. I think you said you got the battery off of Amazon, right? I think there's a lot, which is fine. There's lots of there's lots of other like batteries that will work for people, not as well as dark energy, I would like to say.
Right.
Sometimes people use different types of battery cells, and so the quality of like the actual battery within the battery pack that you see can vary. And so sometimes these Amazon batteries that are more focused on just getting you the lowest price possible, they're using cheaper cells to get that price, and so they don't perform as well.
Okay.
And so that may be one of the reasons you're getting much less of a charge. Or getting like half of a charge. Our battery is our best selling battery, the Poseidon Pro.
I'm gonna grab mine real quick because I want to be able to hold it here.
I have one right here.
Oh, there you go.
So this is our Poseidon Pro.
Ooh, look at that fancy color too. That's a new color.
Yeah, it's been out for a minute.
Oh, has it? Oh, I haven't seen that color.
3 months ago.
Oh, okay. Sorry, keep going.
So this is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, and we tell people you can expect 2 to 3 full phone charges out of it. That's what most people are going to get. That is 0 to 100%. And honestly, that should be what you would normally typically expect out of a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. As for yours, I don't really know. They probably just used super cheap cells. It didn't work great.
But that's honestly what made me, well, I think I had a dark energy. No, maybe I didn't, because this was back in, gosh, was it 2018 or 2019? It was a little bit ago. And that's like when I got off the mountain, it was one of the first things that I did is I got rid of that power bank. Because like that, again, while you're up on the mountain, I mean, we used llamas to get back up in there. We were 5 to 8 miles back up in there to set up camp, and then we hunted another 3 or 4 miles from that. And you rely on that, like I'm banking on that, for lack of better words. When I leave my camp, that, hey, I'm going to have a, 25,000 milliamp battery. It's going to charge my phone. It should charge my phone 6-7 times, should be crazy. And when I get half a charge out of it, it was very, very disappointing. And so, I got the dark energy, and I always tell people I get about 4 or so charges out of my phone. Now that, just so everybody knows, I'm not going clear down to 0 on my phone. I mean, usually I'll plug it in when it's at 20%. So everybody gives me such a hard time because I'll say that, I'm getting 4 or 5 charges on it. Well, it's because that's why I'm doing that. So, but 0 to 100%, you're getting 2 to 3 charges on that, which, man, that's amazing. That's easily going to last you an entire day.
Yes, a day, hopefully multiple days.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea behind it. Your second part of your question was the cold.
Yeah.
A lot of batteries have 0 insulation working for them. The Poseidon Pro is actually engineered to protect against both heat and cold. And so when it gets super hot or super cold, batteries don't like that at all.
Right.
I'm sure you've experienced the same thing with your phone. When you're out with your phone, most people probably have, when you're out with your phone in the cold, your battery just zaps away like nothing. Or if you're out in the hot, your phone will say, hey, I'm overheating. I'm not operating right now.
Right.
Our batteries are insulated to stop that. And so down to about -20 is what we've tested it to without any real loss of performance. And personally, I don't like to be out much past -20.
No, I'm not.
So
I'll be sitting by fire at that point.
Exactly. So
wow.
That's the main thing with the Poseidon Pro. And like, I'm talking about these things as like, we built it for this, but there's a reason behind that. And that's because our founder, his name's Garrett. He actually had a very similar experience on an archery bow hunting. He was out hunting. He got hit by a monsoon, and all of the batteries that he brought with him shorted out. And he was an engineer, and he's like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'll go build something better. And so that was actually how he started with the Poseidon Pro. Was he got tired of having batteries that were not reliable and wanted to build something that he would use as an outdoorsman, a hunter, and that he could rely on. And that was back, it was probably 12 years ago. So now we're at the point where like, even more stuff is reliant upon having extra battery. And so it's perfect. And we've come out with some other products that you've mentioned since then. So like this is one of the new colors of the Poseidon Nano.
Ooh, I like that.
Little wireless MagSafe battery. This is actually like my favorite thing to use when I'm just running maps. So if I'm out shed hunting in the spring, I'll just throw this on the back of my phone. It slips into a pocket. I don't have to worry about it, but it's enough that I don't have to worry that my phone's going to die. I'm going to be up on the mountain and have no idea how to get off.
Right. How many, so for listeners, how many milliamps is that Nano?
It's a 3,000 milliamp hour battery.
Yeah.
So it's like a third of the size roughly of the Poseidon Pro. And because it is wireless charging, you're going to get less of a charge out of this.
Yeah.
So we typically tell people 40 to 60% is what you're looking to get. You may notice less than that because most of the time when you're using it, you're also using your phone at the same time.
Right.
And so like if I'm running maps, then I'm not going to notice it charging. It's just going to maintain and give me an additional 2 to 4 hours of power, which is enough to get me off the hill and get me back to where I have other power solutions. I also, of course, usually carry one of these just in case, but
Yeah.
I work at Dark Energy, so
I'm sure you have a surplus of battery packs.
I do have a
sitting
few
around
batteries
you.
with me.
But so real quick on that Nano, just so everybody knows, like, can you talked about the wireless charging? Can they plug it in as well so that they can charge that way?
Yes, you can. There's a USB-C port here on the bottom. I will preface by saying it is not a fast charging port, so it's a slow trickle charge. But yes, you can plug in. You can still get a charge if you need it.
Yeah, and the reason I say that is just because I've used, well, I haven't used the Nano for it, but just like when we're talking about like all the things we're charging, it's not always just our phone. So if we needed to charge the headlamp with the Nano, you could plug it in, you could charge it, and be just fine.
Yes. Yep. That is correct.
So what are the new colors? I've been seeing posts the last couple of days of all the
new
colors.
These are essentially the two new colors. So we have more of like a desert sandy color, and the Nano's also in that. I just don't have it next to me. I have the packaging, but I don't have the actual Nano. And then this orange. So we built our products to match. We have a black, a green,
nice,
tan, orange, and then
black, green, tan, orange.
Black.
Do you have
that's all four of them.
Was there a gray one at one time? Maybe not.
No.
Okay, I thought maybe I'd seen it. My favorite is orange. So my Poseidon Pro, it's an orange.
Yep. Pretty
much everything you see my watch here. Like in the backcountry, like when I'm hunting, I like orange because that way, especially like the Nano, like if you leave it sitting somewhere, it's gonna be standing out bright. You can easily see it. Although that desert tan color is a pretty dang cool color, but I'm afraid I would probably leave that in the dirt somewhere and not be able to see it.
The orange is actually our best selling color for that reason. Is people like to be able to find their batteries, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
It's also one of our core colors at Dark Energy, so it's like Dark Energy orange, which is kind of cool and fun.
Well, and it's you guys copied my Ehuntr. Actually, maybe I copied you guys. My colors are orange and black at Ehuntr, so we're kind of the same.
They just go so well together, so it makes sense. It's perfect for hunting too. I mean, once you begin to get into rifle hunts, orange is a required color.
Exactly.
I personally wouldn't go out without it on during a rifle hunt, just because I don't trust other people.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's just it's funny. Like I was talking to somebody the other day, like about orange, and they brought up about my watch, like why I'm always wearing an orange watch because it doesn't go like normally I'm in like business casual clothes. I run a hospice company and. So I'm normally like these nicer clothes and I have this bright orange watch and everybody's like, why are you wearing that bright orange watch? I'm like, so I can be seen. And I go back to when I was a kid. I used to race motocross as a kid my whole life. And my parents would always put me in orange gear while I was out on the track. That way they knew exactly which one was me out there on the track. I was easy to spot. So a little tangent there, but I love that you guys have them coming in orange so that we can see them. Do you have the solar panels in orange or are they just still in gray?
We do. We have the solar panels in orange as well. And that was actually what I was going to mention as well, is that we do have solar options. Once again, I should have been better prepared.
Oh no, hey, this is
actually had all the stuff.
This is casual, man.
Instead of just have product packaging sitting behind me.
I did not know that came in orange. I wish I would have got that in orange. I have the grayish color one, but again, I mean, and I'm probably not going to leave. I've got the 18 watt, but so I'm probably not going to leave it anywhere. It's probably going to be attached to my backpack, but that's awesome. But yeah, talk to us about the solar options that you guys have.
Yeah. Well, I once again didn't come prepared, but I have two different sizes. We have an 18 watt and an 8 watt panel. Roughly the 8 watts, half the size, half the weight, but you're going to double your charging time. Solar is typically based off of a surface area type thing. So we really designed them to go with our batteries is kind of the way the solar panels were built. They're 18 watt, just as like a couple quick things that people would want to know about it. It will fully recharge a Poseidon Pro in 4 hours on a sunny day.
I've done it. I have done it. There's a video on the Ehuntr page that proves it. So Keep going, sir.
Yeah, it's just like that's what it was built for. So hopefully, even on a cloudy day, you're getting enough of a charge to recharge your devices.
Yeah.
I typically set mine out at camp. I'll leave it with my battery all day, and then when I get back, I'll charge my phone or whatever I need. From there, we have an 8 watt. 8 watt was built to do the exact same thing with the Nano for like an ultra lightweight setup. So you can pick up a Nano and an 8 watt, and together they weigh under a pound. Which, like, if you're looking for the lightest setup possible and don't need as much battery, you can get away with that. I personally prefer having the Poseidon Pro because I like having extra battery and the 18 watt just in case something happens.
Yeah. Really depends on what kind of person you are. Like for me, I've got my GoPro that I'm taking. I've got my camera that I'm taking. You know, I've got so many electronics that I've got to charge. So for, I don't know, I could see the Nano and 8 watt actually coming in handy quite a bit for weight purposes. Like you're saying, shed hunting would be really nice just to carry that around, you know, just to make it easy. But even, oh man, like when like at camp, I'd like to have the Poseidon Pro, but man, during the day, it'd be kind of nice to have that 8 watt on your pack, you know, just charging all day long on your pack because it clips on with the little system that you guys have, charging the Nano. That would be pretty sweet too. But anyways, someone like me that has all those devices, I kind of need the robust power of the Poseidon Pro. But if you're only charging a phone, I'll bet that 8 watt Nano would be perfect.
Yeah, you would be just fine with it. We don't recommend this, but from the 8 watt panel, you can charge a phone in 3 to 4 hours. So like,
wow.
If you wanted to go directly to your phone, you could charge your phone directly from there. Sometimes, like if you're on a partially cloudy day or clouds come rolling in, your phone will actually stop charging due to some of the technology, like warning systems in it. It needs a consistent source of power. So again, we recommend going to a battery. They're a little less temperamental, and then charging from there.
That's a good point. Have you ever used the 8 watt to charge the Poseidon Pro, and how long would that take?
You're looking about double the time. So you're looking 8 to 10 hours of full sun. So most of the time you're not going to get a full charge within a day.
But close. You'd get
but you could get close.
Yeah.
I actually, if I were to recommend to somebody that like is really concerned about weight but wants to make sure they have enough power and they're not fully using a Poseidon Pro every day, I'd grab an 8 watt panel. I'd top this off every day while I was gone using that 8 watt panel, and you would be more than enough. You have the solar if you need it. The 8 watt panel is like right around half a pound. We built our panels to be 2 times lighter than traditional panels. So like they aren't as heavy as what you're expecting out of a regular solar panel. And then they're also, because of the technology we use, they're flexible.
Yeah.
So you can put them in a pack and lean up against them and not worry about cracking and breaking them, which on a regular panel, if you bend them at all, you just shattered everything inside and it's not going to work for you, which a lot of people have had a negative experience with.
Yeah.
They go out, they expect their panel to work, they bump it, drop it, something with it, and it no longer works. And they're stuck out there not being able to get the charge they need. And we didn't want our panels to be that way because we build the toughest portable power on earth because we want it to be reliable.
And I've put the Poseidon Pro through the torture test, man. Like I've dropped it in water, I've dropped it in mud, I've done all those things. I haven't done that with the 18 watt panel yet. Like, talk to me about the durability of it. I mean, obviously it's flexible so it doesn't break that way, but how does it handle rain, snow, mud, all those things?
Yep. All of our products in general are IPX6 waterproof, which when I started at Dark Energy, no idea what that means. So I will explain it in the best way I can. Essentially, it's waterproof like your phone's going to be waterproof. They claim a different waterproof rating than it actually is, but like I can go drop the Nano in water. It has an open port. I can drop it in. If I get it out of the water and I let it dry out, it's going to be just fine.
Wow.
If it gets splashed on or rained on, it's going to be just fine. And same with our solar panels. Everything on the inside is chemically waterproofed. You don't have to worry about that. As far as cold and heat, If you get extreme temperatures, so like say I leave my solar panel on the dash of my car and I'm creating a greenhouse effect,
Mm-hmm.
you will see power loss in that. So we recommend getting it out of spaces
Makes sense.
like that. In cold, you're going to see a slight performance decrease as well. The biggest thing that happens during the cold months or the winter months is the sun changes.
Mm.
And so instead of being a hot, direct summer sun, you're getting an off angle that then will not provide quite the same level of charging as that direct summer sun will. So
Gotcha.
depending on the time of year, you're also going to get a better charge or not as good of a charge. It
Yeah.
also, depending on where you're at in regards to the equator,
Mm-hmm.
you're also going to get a different charge. So if you're right on the equator, you're going to be just rocking and rolling. You're good to go. If you're like clear up in the Arctic Circle, it's going to be a little bit harder to get a charge.
Yeah. That
Like
that makes sense.
yeah, there's a lot of things that go into the solar tech, but
Yeah.
we really did try and take our time to build panels that are going to be reliable. We've had I've had guys tell me stories about how they went out in Alaska and they ended up getting stormed out, and the only thing that kept them able to contact the plane was actually our solar panel.
Oh
They ran out of
wow.
food 2 days before because they had been rained out, and they said the solar panel just saved them.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So really, I mean, it really is a lifesaver when you think about it, because
Yeah.
we rely on those, like you mentioned earlier, the Garmin InReach, or well, now our phones have a lot of the phones have the satellite texting, and I've been in that situation. You know, like I was in Kodiak, and same thing. We had a storm coming in. We had to communicate with the pilot to come and get us before the storm hit, and yeah, if we didn't have that technology and be able to communicate with them, we'd have been screwed, for lack of better words.
100%, which again is like it's all just to be there to first of all, like technology in general is meant to supplement and make the hunting experience
Right.
better and easier, but our products are kind of that last effort that honestly can be a difference between remaining calm and composed in a situation and freaking out.
Yeah.
This is going to be a kind of a sad story that I'll just share super quick. But well, one of the guys we work with, I'm not going to name any names, they came across a ATV wreck this last weekend, and it was two teenage girls that were in this ATV wreck, and they were ended up getting life lighted out of like the situation. One of them ended up passing away, which is just like horrible. I can't even imagine. My heart goes out to the family, but the mother of one of these two girls was there and her phone was dead.
Mm.
And she had no way of contacting their other family members. She had no way of doing any of this, but she was about to go jump on this helicopter with her daughter. And so the guy we work with had an extra Poseidon Pro. He gave it to her and a charging cable, and just like was able to provide some sort of comfort and just having that ability to communicate with those around her. And while it is like an extremely somber story, and I hope nobody ever has to go through something like that,
Yeah.
it is a reality that things can turn south very quickly, and having extra battery or a way to communicate can literally be the difference between life and death. So
Wow. Wow, that's crazy, man. What a crazy story. Holy moly. And it is. I mean, you're absolutely right. That comfort. I mean, I can't experience or compare to that. That's crazy. But I can compare, like, being on a hunt when you're snowed in, and being able to watch a movie that you downloaded onto your phone, or like going back to just that comfort of being able to have that, to be able to keep you on the mountain a little bit longer. It sounds silly. I know it sounds ridiculous, but being able to have that comfort of being able to, watch a movie if you want to, or play a game on your phone, or text your wife, those kind of things, that's what keeps you going. Honestly, there's a lot of hunts that I've come home from in my life where I thought, there's just no reason for me to be here. I'm miserable. And if I would have had some kind of comfort that would have brought that comfort to me, I'm sure I would have stayed out longer, probably would have killed more animals, had better experiences, the whole thing. So I know that doesn't compare to your story, but for a lot of those people listening, like that's kind of how it goes sometimes. And it's nice to have that comfort.
100%. 100%. It also just makes it more enjoyable
It
too,
does.
right?
It does. It does.
You get back after a long day and you're like, man, I want to watch a movie
Yeah.
or listen to
Yep.
some music.
Yep.
And it can be, again, as you mentioned, the motivation needed to spend the extra day on the hill to kill a nice buck or
Yeah.
bull, rather than pack up and go home.
Yeah, so that was a frustrating thing about this hunt right here with this elk, man. With that stupid battery pack I had, I downloaded like 3 movies to watch while I was there. I had no battery to even watch a movie. And I was so mad. So it's a good thing that the hunt went well to keep me motivated. Because if it hadn't, oh man, I'd have been off the mountain a whole lot sooner. Hey, I want to ask you real quickly about your guys' cables as well. Do you guys do something different with your cables? Because I'm finding there's, again, you can go to a gas station, get a cheap cable, but what I've noticed with when I use your guys' cables and I should say cables, I've got one of your guys' cables, but I've noticed that the transfer of power when I'm charging my phone or even charging my power bank, it seems to be better. Is there something different, or am I making that up in my head? You can tell me if I'm making it up.
You're not making it up.
Oh.
Our cables are built different. We have some paracord wrapped ones, which are really cool looking.
Yeah.
This is not one of them. This is the cable that comes with every Poseidon Pro and Poseidon Nano.
That's what I've got right here.
And they work great. They're not a high data transfer cable. So if you're moving images back and forth, trying to use the cable, it's not really built for that. But power, it's built for.
Okay.
And it's also, honestly, the biggest thing you're going to notice is just the quality of materials that go into it. So our cables are actually ballistic reinforced. So they have a thread wrapped around them. So they're not easy to break.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a regular cable, you can bend it like this and you just it pops open and you're like, okay, whatever. Yeah. We reinforced the necks of the cable. So right here, we added extra reinforcement all the way up. We made the heads out of steel. So it's a little bit tougher metal, and just we wanted to build a cable that would also be reliable with your batteries.
Yeah.
Kind of the idea behind it. As far as the energy transfer, I just think the materials we use that go into the cable provide that better experience and provide a better charge. I will say we had one batch of our old lightning cables. Is to do those with wrapped in paracord. Some of the heads kept popping off just because the soldering wasn't good. And anyway, where I'm going with this is we stand by our products. So if anybody had any issues, we would replace it, no questions asked. We have a 2-year warranty on all of our stuff. So if something does break or short or whatever, just jump on our website, reach out to us, and we will get you taken care of.
Wow.
We want people to be able to use and trust our products. And if they're doing something weird, which doesn't happen very often,
right?
But we will take care of it. So
that's huge, especially in the hunting industry, because we're not easy on stuff. You know what I mean? That's what I love about Dark Energy is it's built for what we do. Those Amazon ones aren't built for what we do. Those Amazon cables aren't built for what we do. And so, but it's huge for us to have that kind of security blanket of if something does happen, obviously it's built to handle a lot of stuff. But if it shorts out or something like that, then we can, you guys will stand by that and replace that, which I think that's huge for hunters.
It should be important. I feel like most companies should just do it anyway, because why would you build something you're not proud of, you don't stand by? So,
and 2 years is a long time.
We do. We actually even offer an extended warranty up to 5 years, and so we're willing. We will stand by our products up to that length of time. Unfortunately, with batteries, there is some type of decay over time. We just can't get around that, but our batteries are meant to last a long time.
Yeah. What are you seeing with the Poseidon Pros? They've been out for a while now. Are you seeing the battery start to, what's the life expectancy on them?
I mean, we have guys that bought theirs 8 to 10 years ago and still come up to us at shows and say, "Hey, my battery's still running good. If it ever finally dies, I'll be back to get another one." So like we have those experiences. I honestly haven't even heard that many people, anyone in general, come up to me and say, "Hey, my battery no longer holds a charge." It's more of like, "Hey, it's working great
Yeah.
still. I don't need another one quite yet." And we're like, "What about one for all your friends and family because you love it so much?" But
yeah, you guys need
yeah,
to put something in there that makes them stop working after like 3 years, so we all have to go buy new ones every. I'm just kidding. I've had mine.
no, we don't want to be that.
No, I've had mine for, well, like I said, either 2018 or 2019 is when I bought my first Poseidon Pro, and so that's 6-7 years ago, and it's still it. And I use it a lot. I don't just use it for hunting. Like I travel for work a lot, so I'm traveling all over the Western United States, and I have my work backpack where I've got my computer that charges USB-C, my iPad, everything. It goes in my work pack. I always have it in case I'm on a plane or somewhere where I don't have a way to charge my phone or my laptop or my iPad or whatever. I use the crap out of that thing for everything.
I totally get you. We sell a lot specifically because people want a reliable battery because they're out hunting or whatever. And that's great. Most people end up using them at their kids' baseball games or to keep their phones charged or whatever. And that's fine too. Like having a battery that's going to work in both those situations is great.
Yeah.
And like we understand that not everybody is able to go out every weekend. I'm not able to go out every weekend. I use my battery more traveling, going to shows than I did would if I just used it for hunting. You can use it anytime to charge your devices.
Yeah.
One of the questions you asked earlier is what's next.
Yeah.
That's exactly this is a perfect time to tie it in because you just mentioned some bigger devices, and like the Poseidon Pro can run a laptop in a pinch. However, it's not a lot, and I will gladly, like, I will admit that I've used it in a pinch. I was having to work. We were at a rodeo, and I had to pull out my laptop and work, but I've been in meetings all day where I hadn't had access to power, and I went to use one of the outlets on the outside of the building, and I flipped open the outlet cover, and there was just a giant wasp nest full of wasps, and I said nope and shut it and just pulled out my battery and ran. I probably worked for 2 hours just off of a Poseidon Pro, which was great.
Wow.
It was enough that I could use it in a pinch. I definitely couldn't have gone much longer than that, just with my laptop here. But we are building batteries that are bigger. We understand that like power needs are expanding. People are wanting to, especially at base camps, take their laptops with them, be able to possibly even work from the hill. There's a lot more remote positions available. Starlink is another huge one that's coming out. We don't currently have a battery that will run a Starlink. We will have one before the end of the year. We will have a battery that'll run a Starlink Mini for 3 hours, and a solar panel that will go with it that will charge it in an hour and a half. So like you could indefinitely run a Starlink Mini during the day off of this solar panel and battery combo that will be out before the end of the year.
Holy smokes.
It's going to be, I wish I had one to show off a little bit, but I don't. It's going to be an awesome battery, still waterproof, still reliable, still built with the same tech. You'll have multiple ports, so you can charge a whole bunch of different devices from it at the same time. It is the largest battery capacity you can have and still be able to fly with it. I know that's a thing people are concerned about because TSA does crack down on like larger battery systems. You cannot fly with those, but it is the largest you can get and still fly with it, which is like that perfect sweet spot. And then like looking forward even beyond that, we're going to have solar generator size batteries that you can run lots of other stuff off of. But that's end of this year, next year type, what you're looking at. The main one that I'm really excited for is that TSA approved,
Mm-hmm.
built to charge laptops, run a Starlink Mini. That battery is it's gonna be nice.
Oh, dude. Well, and you talked about having it at base camp. Again, content creator. So I'm always, doing content, and I'm always worried about being able to have enough battery power to, like, I love, like, to be able to come back in the evenings, to be able to sit down to a laptop and start doing some editing on the videos, creating some reels, all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I just don't ever have the battery to do that. So you always wait till you get home and you start working on those things. And then life gets in the way and it delays it. And it takes like 4 months to finally get stuff out. Like, if I could come back to base camp and just work on that in evenings when I have nothing else to do anyways, like that would be so sweet, man. There's so many applications for that. What do you know what that number is? What's the milliamps on that battery?
It's like a 27,000
Okay.
milliamp hour. I don't remember the exact number. It's 100 watt hours is what that cutoff is. So this one, for example, our Poseidon Pro is 37.74 watt hours. So it's like roughly 3 times the size of this. Battery capacity wise.
So still going to be, obviously it's going to be heavier than a Poseidon Pro, but still going to be fairly lightweight, but durable and all that stuff.
It's durable. I will say, like, if you're looking at it compared to other batteries and you're just looking for a lightweight solution, it's not going to be the lightest battery at that capacity. It is going to be the toughest though.
Yeah.
So
how big? Do you know how big roughly it's going to be?
It's this big-ish, which probably doesn't help you at all.
Probably about the size of the 8 watt solar panel.
It's probably an inch. I can give you. Hold on, give me 1 second.
No worries, man.
I have the dimensions written down. I just got some of the specs, so let me pull that up, and I will share those.
While you're pulling that up, I'm just going to tell my listeners. So Braden teased this to me at TAC. He told me, "Hey, we're coming out with something really cool, and I wish you could have it for Alaska, but it's not going to be out in time." So I've been super curious as to what this was going to be. So now that you kind of let me know what it is, yeah, you're absolutely right. I wish I'm going to Alaska next year. We moved our trip from this year to next year, so I'm gonna have to make sure that goes with me because we're taking ATVs in on that hunt, and I can haul that in on an ATV.
Yes, you will. Okay, here you go. It's going to be 2.5 pounds.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Not terrible. It will be, and these are just, I'm rounding.
Yeah.
So take it with a grain of salt, but 8.125 inches by 6.25 inches. So that'll be your dimensions this way. And then it's 1.5 inches thick.
So it's basically
like
that right there.
Maybe a little bit thicker than that, but roughly that size.
Oh, dude, I want it.
It'll be great. And I mean, it still has the same technology that we build in all of our other products because we want it to be reliable. We want it to be something people can take and trust with their other batteries.
And that's the thing is there are those battery packs that are like that you probably could run a laptop off of if you were in a nice controlled environment, like climate controlled environment, but have something that's insulated that you can take out when it's 35 degrees and it's not going to hurt it, or 20 degrees and it's not going to hurt it. Like that. To me, that's the big thing, whether it's hunting or that's just a life I live. That's just how I live my life. We're always in those kind of climates. And so to be able to have that and have that ability, man, that's huge.
100%. I'm excited to get it and see it too. I've seen like the samples and got to play with them for a tiny bit of time, but I haven't had one that I could physically go test out on all my adventures yet. Just because we've had limited samples and they've had to go to other places, but I'm excited to get my hands on it and work with it a little bit more. So
when you get it, you'll have to take a picture of it and send it to me so I can see it.
Will do. I 100% will.
Well, shoot, Braden. Well, I don't mean to take up your entire day on this, but I've been looking forward to this podcast and being able to chat with you and talk all things dark energy. I'm a big fanboy of you guys and what you guys have got going on and what you're doing. Again, for me, it just makes a huge impact. Being able to have my Poseidon Pro, being able to have my solar panel, just, it makes my life a whole lot easier. So I definitely appreciate you coming on. Let my listeners know what you guys do and all the benefits that you guys could provide to them. Before we close, is there anything else that we need to touch on or anything else we need to go over that we didn't?
I don't really think so. I think we covered it pretty well. We're just out here trying to provide reliable power for people. So if that's something you need, whether it be on the hunt or just in general life, like we either have a solution for it or we're working on one. I think we covered it all. We had a fun talking about hunting stories too. So
yeah, I love, this is why I love podcasting. Like well, one, I love meeting genuine people like you. Like when I met you at TAC, I'm like, okay, this guy, like him and I need to be friends. Like that's what I love about this. And then just being able to talk about this cool stuff, have fun doing it. Like I love the podcast for this reason. So, and it just creates lifelong friendships. You know, when I see you at at shows, and I'm sure we're going to be texting a lot. You got to text me a picture of that buck for sure. But I'm excited to see you at shows. And speaking of that, so for people that want to put their hands on these products, are you guys going to, like, a lot of my listeners are from here in Utah. Obviously, we're big Western hunting. Will you be at the expo and whatnot in February?
Yep. We'll be at the Western Hunt Expo again. If you're there, like, make sure you stop by the booth. We usually have some sort of freebies. I know last year, lots of people had our bags running around, and the bags are just a free item, but they're really nice. And we will have those again. We'll be at the Utah TAC. So you can come and see us at the Utah TAC. I personally will be at both of those. Nice. So you can find me there. I think we're going to try and do a few more shows as well. So we may go to another TAC or two as well. We're going to try and do Sheep Show in Reno this year. And yeah, you can just find us around. One thing, like you mentioned, getting your hands on the products. If you are in a rush and you really want to, one place you can find us is Bass Pro and Cabela's right now. We aren't in every single one of the stores, but we are in quite a few of them. And we do have a display there that has some of our products that you can physically like handle and touch.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to check one out and don't want to wait clear to Hunt Expo, you can run into like the Bass Pro. I've been to the one in Lehigh and they have that display, which is kind of fun.
Perfect. That's actually what I was just going to ask. I was going to see if that one there at Thanksgiving Point had that. So yeah, for you guys listening, that's a great way to go and get your hands on this stuff and see how everything works and what it feels like. Weight's a big deal, like that's what a lot of people look at and yeah, you can look at a number on a screen like, okay, yeah, it's a pound or it's a half a pound or whatever, but actually go and feel like, okay, how's this going to be in my pack or my pocket? So that's awesome. So go check that out, guys. Make sure you check those out. So, and as far as following you guys, Dark Energy on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff.
Yep. Dark Energy Tech is our handle essentially across all of our social media platforms. I run that. So like if you guys have anything you need, like feel free to jump on and message the account and I will see it. So
sweet. Man, that is awesome. That's good to know. I didn't know that you ran that. I thought you guys had a different social media manager. You're a busy guy, dude. Dang. You've been posting like crazy lately.
Yeah, we try and be busy, but there's always a lot to do. So if there is a slight delay in me getting back to you, that's why. But yeah, I do run that. I'm excited. If you are listening and want to just come up and say hi, feel free to message me.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, guys. You guys, this is a guy that you need to know. So definitely go out, go visit with him, check out their stuff. Can't say enough good things about it. So Braden, I'll let you go, man. I appreciate your time with me today. Appreciate you jumping on the podcast, and I hope that this is not the only one that we do. I hope we have tons more ahead of us.
It's a blast. I mean, if you're bored in October, we could do one at elk camp.
You tell me where to be, man, and I'll be there.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, brother.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.